is the crisis, can't you see? When you look in the mirror, do you see yourself? Do you see yourself on a TV screen? Do you see yourself in a magazine? When you see yourself, does it make you scream? When you look in the mirror, do you smash it quick? Do you take the glass and slash your wrist? Did you do it for fame? Did you do it in a fit? I chose the name polystyrene because it's a lightweight disposable product. Yeah, it sounded alright. I thought it was a send-out of being a pop star. It's like a little figure, not me, being polystyrene. Just plastic, disposable. That's what pop stars sort of meant to me, and so therefore I thought I might as well send it out.
In the last half century, science has devised an entirely new family of materials, plastics.
At one stage, I was much more absorbed by being polystyrene and playing that role because I liked the character and I thought it was fun, but now I'm not into it, that's all. I'm much more like just marionette.
Sunlight lemon liquid for that bright and happy sparkle. Hello. Now I'm testing the Electrolux Automatic 345. Just what no other.
My mind is like a plastic bag that corresponds to all those ads. It sucks up all the rubbish that is fed in through my ear. I eat Kleenex for breakfast and use soft hygienic Weetabix to dry my tears.
Whatever you're buying for your home, look in Yellow Pages first. You'll find what you're looking for so much quicker.
I got my name from the Yellow Pages.
Can that be limper? Can we try it just a bit more?
I'm a poser and I don't care. I like to make people stare.
Just again here.
When I was about 5 or 6, I used to have a big trunk and all the clothes in there used to come from jumble sales. I used to play dressing up.
Good.
And used to make up out of my powder paints.
Where's the happiness in your life gone? That's good, that's good. Right. That I like. Good. Now you've got that naughty look, you see. So that's what I was after. Now if you could stop and stamp and turn and face me.
I am a poser and I don't care. I like to make people stare. My facade is just a fake. Shock, horror, no escape. I know can't hear myself. I can a bit now, but I couldn't then.
You know.
Yeah. Can you turn the track down a bit, please, on my headphones?
Not everything all down.
Yeah, it's just too loud. He's a jump-free adolescent. Cleanliness is her attraction. Cleans her teeth 10 times a day. Scrub away, scrub away, scrub away. Wanted to have a total obsession about synthetic things in the modern world, and so therefore I dressed to, fit. It went with the name and the songs and everything. I just wanted it to be interrelating. Clothes are never really you. That's why people wear them, because you can just create an image with clothes. They're just part of a facade, which is good fun to play with sometimes.
It's got holes all over it. Oh, come on, honey. I mean, this is horrible. That on charming. Even I might too.
Yeah, you should try.
No, it's your movie, hon. This is your life.
There are certain times when you think, you just want to hide, you just don't want people to start looking at you or see you or anything like that. You just want to be on your own. I mean, it isn't normal for people to be surrounded with people telling them that they're great. That isn't a normal situation. Most people do not get that. It isn't normal to be up on stage and people jumping all over you and ripping your clothes off. That isn't a normal thing for anybody to take. And then you get people coming backstage as well, and then you get people coming to your house, and then you get people trying to break in, and then you just get people surrounding you all the time, and you just are never on your own, and that's just not normal. So therefore you just say, go away, I don't want to see anybody. And because they expect you, they think you're a performer and you're supposed to be this sort of thing that does all these, entertains everybody, they think that that's, then you must be having a nervous breakdown because you don't want to see anybody. But you know what, you're just being perfectly normal. Just saying, I want to be by myself. My mind is like a switchboard with crossed and tangled lines, contented with confusion that is plugged into my head. I don't know what's going on. It's the operator's job, not mine, I said.
She wants to be a woman, wants to be, and then she wants to be a woman, wants to be, and she wants to be a woman, woman wants to be a man. She wants to be a woman, wants to be a man. She wants to join the hermaphrodite clan.
Yeah, okay, we're going straight into E. E, yes. Just like the beginning. Just like the beginning.
I just started writing when I was about 12. I suppose all kind of thoughts and just clearing out my thoughts.
Just like the beginning.
Yeah, don't forget we started in E.
I started in E, but we're in different keys.
You are.
So, from that F then, you want to go into the E? Straight away? Yeah.
Right. E. That's what I was doing, right? And then I changed something. I mean, there wasn't a... Let's do it again.
Basically, I just find one word and then I write the rest around the word. And identity is just, well, it's like everything. You don't think it's about you at the time, but then it could be about you.
I've got them. They're really great. Hang on, let me show you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
really nice. Right, excellent.
I mean, I like writing because I can write by myself. I can just go away and write, just alone. And then the rest is a series of compromises with other people.
Right. How do you like it? Just go. Pictures and acting. Oh, great.
At 15, and I went and got a job buying clothes for the shops, but I was just sort of learning, a junior. Then I left home and then I just went itching all the way around England. I just felt that I wanted to do something else and I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly. And so I just thought I'd just go away and just think about things by myself. And I thought I wanted to be in a band. So I just decided to get a band together. I just put an advert in Melody Makeup. That's all young folks wanting to stick it together. And that's just how it started.
Stuck in a van.
It's a jam like this all the way to Birmingham.
But
This is after a Spex and a version of the song which is on the B side of the current sing. It's called A.
Well, I don't really want to go on through and forever, and I would never be doing anything like this when I was old. I would just like lots of other things I'd like to do, like writing and things like that.
Darling, feel her age. She's so afraid, age. She's not the right age. She's so afraid, age. She's not the right. She never seems to realize. Tell you love you can never die. Shivering in silhouette.
I actually have to go out on the road. I don't particularly enjoy that, especially when you just go up to, you travel all that way, all those miles to go to some really small little club and only about 100 people sort of are there. which is okay, you know, if you really enjoy it. But once you've done it a few times, it's just boring.
I think you can take a shortcut here.
Oh, you can't go down there.
Ask the taxi driver. That's a good idea.
Liverpool Street. Or London Street or something like that. I know it begins with
Excuse me, do you know where Eric's is? Well, we don't know where we are, that's the point. Lost in Liverpool. Do you know where the hotel is? The station is over there.
that way, or just down there.
I saw these
The left.
ones on
Are these the lights you remember? Yeah.
Yeah, this looks... This one here, look, you see where it says here, right here.
Come on, Steve, sort it out.
You come down the hill, and it's down here on the left or on the right. What?
The dog running in there.
Gonna get run over.
Where is it? Is it over there?
No, it's
Where's
Here!
All right.
We can get out more.
One of these dingy doors.
What's all this then? Next taking a right. Where's Steve?
This is great. Steve, we better go and take Polly to the hotel.
Monitor check, 1, 2.
It's Elliot and Stuart. Okay, thanks.
Where is it?
Just through the far door there.
Now, hang on a minute, lads. I'll get a few more.
Properties of the polys like polyethylene, polyester, or polyvinyl chloride puts the high in hi-fi. It has made many things.
That's too nice world, I think.
I don't know what program it is. Just turned it on.
Oh, man, lad. Have you seen those shops in town where, they've got all those fancy telephones?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that shop.
There's one amazing one I want. It's great big. It's got all the working for the telephone. It's got a huge glass dome. You sort of plunge your hand in and pull out the receiver, and when you dial, you can see all the bits inside going.
He now wants us on as 11. So I said he'd have to wait up.
I'm not an actress, so that's something else. On stage I'm one thing, and off stage I'm something else. But most people are not. They just perform all the time. I just consider myself as a person first, and anything else what anybody else might call you, well, they're just names really, aren't they? Just given to trends and people and things like that. It's dark and eerie and it's really late. Come on kids, don't hesitate. We're going down to the underground. The subterrane is a bottomless pit. The vinyl vultures are after it. Molten lava, sulfur vapors smoulder on to obliterate us. If you got the urge, come on, let's emerge. Audience going hysterical or screaming or things like that, then that's not a sort of a normal thing to do. It's like an exaggerated peak period and a series of places in a sort of a certain period of time, and you just go from one lot of hysterical people to the next lot of hysterical people to the next lot of hysterical people to the next lot of hysterical people, which is just, you know, just too much.
These mice are taking part in an experiment that promises to be one of the most explosive issues of the future. For the last 4 years, Professor John Maynard Smith has been working on a technique that could dramatically extend the lives not only of mice, but men. Back in 1994, the eggs...
They can deliberately upgrade the intelligence of animals now if they want. They could genetically sort of engineer people for certain jobs.
The eggs were fertilized, they were put back in their mother, and these mice were born.
In the wrong hands and used the wrong way, I mean, it's terrible. I mean, I find that quite frightening, that actually we won't have much control.
The question now is, should we do it with human beings? We can't do it, as I say, for adults. There's nothing we can do for you or me. But should we do it with an egg? Should we do it for an unborn human being?
It's so very tempting. Will biologists resist? When he becomes the creator, will he let us exist? Genetic engineering could create the perfect race, could create an unknown life force that could us exterminate. That you're not an individual, then it seems more important. Maybe you're just one person in a great big... Alright.
New one's probably the next one round, actually. Yeah. 1336 and 134. Is that going to be all right?
Yeah, I think so. It's fine.
We'll be rehearsing with you very shortly now if you'd like to go into the studio and just wait around a bit, okay? Thanks.
Mike, can you just have a word with her and ask her if she will go through the next numbers as she's going to do it on the show tonight? She's going to talk now, I believe.
No, I'm not going to do any chatting between this one. I'm not going to do chat tonight.
Well, someone was lying.
Well, never mind.
Okay, I don't mind no chat. It's just that someone just told me that she was going to chat.
Starts on lead guitar, next number, 4 bars.
I live off you! 1, 2, 3, 4!
And you're going to the guitar, Ron? 2, 4. See the sax, 3. Hatch come 2. Oh, all right, Hatch come 3. See her 2, thank you. Use you as a cutaway, Ron. Once you've used one, well, get him out. Oh, it's the other hand, yeah, it's the other hand. How'd you come now, Ron? Actually, it's not a bad chord, is it? Well, let's get 3 out now. Well, you can go across. Take 1. Off you go to the sax. 1. 3 to the desk.
Is that it?
And back to the desk on 3.
Oh, so we're going to do a dress rehearsal.
So, Mike, if Polly and X-ray effects and liaise with makeup after
I couldn't remember what O Bondage Up Yours came out on originally.
Virgin.
It was Virgin?
Yeah.
Was it? I knew it wasn't EMI.
No, it was Virgin.
But it was...
This is an example of the new EMI image.
Are you the man responsible?
Yes.
You're going to say that anyway, I suppose. Yeah.
Move her, quickly, 28 seconds. Close up on 3.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue up.
Now the relaxation sequence. Relax, relax. The whole of my body relax.
This man says he survives the outer chaos because he can create his own inner calm. Whether this teaching is accepted...
If you just are yourself most of the time, and you just act out this other character just another part of the time, then it's okay, I suppose. Well, not forever, but... Because there's just things that you want to do on your own, you know, which you never get time to do because you get totally absorbed by all the performance and everything that goes with it. So you neglect a lot of things that you probably do otherwise.
Here are the songs of some birds of London parks and gardens. We start with a wood pigeon and robin.
I still wouldn't mind furthering my education properly and finishing it off when I'm a bit older. And science interests me quite a lot more than science and biology, basically because of the future possibilities of those areas. I'm a cliche in the sense that I've got 2 feet, 2 hands, 10 fingers, 2 eyes, hair, brain. Whether that counts or not in cliches, I'm not sure. But and a body and 2 legs, so yeah, I'm a cliche. I drove my polypropylene car on wheels of sponge, then pulled into a wimpy bar to have a rubber bum. I clambered over mounds and mounds of polystyrene foam, then fell into a swimming pool filled with fairy snow and watched the world turn day glow. It's just like a fantasy. Like a daydream. It was like I was clambering over the mounds and mounds of polystyrene.
A nice table that's quite features on it.
So everything's real, even if it's unreal, it's still real because it exists. You can see it and you can touch it, and it can also be a figment of your imagination. It's like somebody said, "Are you polystyrene?" And I said, "No, I'm a real person."
Do you think of when you talk about Day-Glo and polystyrene? I mean, they mean more to me than, say, just somebody saying plastic. What kind of images do they bring to your mind? What are you thinking of?
Well, it's difficult to explain, really. I mean, it's plastic, but sort of products, disposable things, throwaway things. Day-Glo is just, bright colours. A lot of people think it's like junk, but it's not. Really, it's all about plastic. The world's just around plastic.
Sometimes they sound sad to me, and this may just be my ears.
Every time you play, people go mad and jump all over the stage, and things get wrecked, and it's exciting, but it's like a neurosis, really. It's bound to have sort of some side effect on you. You just blank out, you just cut off. You just don't want to have to be this thing that they've come to see and say, "No, I can't do it anymore." It's a novelty, people coming backstage all the time, and it's quite flattering. But then after a while you think, no, you just don't want to sort of see any new people. If they want to see me, they should see me on stage, because they're fans, they're not really friends yet, but it's not really good for you, because you just start to adopt more and more this stage personality for them. That's what they're expecting, so you just act it out.
Somebody said to me that your teeth braces, somebody said it was just a device,
No.
a stage prop.
It can't come off.
Can't it?
No, not yet anyway.
Is it screwed in?
No, it's cemented on.
Yeah. What sort of questions do you ask yourself all the time?
None anymore.
There's no infighting going on then?
No.
It's all over. I was going to say, what did you think of the crowd last night? Were you surprised?
I thought it was good.
Were you frightened?
No.
Do you rely on Falcon for sort of like psychological protection?
No.
He's not like a buffer zone between you and all the bad vibes?
No.
Do you live in a basement flat in his house?
Why?
I was just asking.
Oh.
I'm not trying to imply that you have an affair or anything like that,
No, I'm not saying that you are, but I just wondered if,
what the significance of it was.
Yeah.
No, I think, well, sort of like, there he can look after you, sort of like a patriarch, Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, not really.
Want to go inside, because, it's really raining very heavily.
Yeah.
Very heavily.
Are these really for me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to My Records. My name is Jeff Webb. Would you like to come and sign our VIP book?
Plastics play an essential role both in reproducing sound and vision and in recording it.
Hello, this is Radio EMI, and today visiting the factory will be X-Ray Spex featuring polystyrene. And incidentally, in the charts this week at number 22 is their latest single, Germ-Free Adolescence.
Hello. This is polystyrene for X-Ray Spex. Come see what you're doing.
Are your teeth genuine? Pardon? Are your teeth genuine? Yeah. No, I was saying on telly, you look as if you've got steel teeth. Very nice.
pleasure this morning to introduce you to the lead singer of that group, Polystyrene. Good morning, Polly. Hello. I'd like to start off by asking you, Polystyrene is a rather somewhat unusual name. How did it come about?
Well, I found that name by looking through yellow pages, and it's a plastic, so I just chose that name.
Different, isn't it?
Well, it's a real
Do you
one.
You're going to tell me, are you? So you're the sole songwriter?
Well, yeah, you could say that, yeah.
With the release of your first album, how do you see your music developing in the next 2 to 3 years?
Oh, I can't really put into words how I see the music developing. Maybe it's into the sound of a Hoover. Sort of class as shutting yourself off. I mean, to demand a certain amount of privacy, I think, is definitely something I'll always do. But, you know, I mean, I've never been the type of person to have lots of people around me in any case. When you're sort of working, that's something else. But when you're sort of by yourself, I don't like it. I'm quiet. I mean, I'm not the only one that's quiet. The others are quiet too. I mean, Jack hates crowds. He likes to be by himself. He likes to be listening to things and it's quiet. He won't get anywhere else.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it's my job as Johnny Rubbish. I see two of you can recognise me. One's got a hand grenade, the other one's got a machine gun. It's my job to introduce you. I've practised that, man. I can get out of the way of it. It's my job to introduce you on behalf of the promoters, Capitalist Pig Promotions, who'd like to thank you from the bottom of their wallets for coming along tonight. And I'll introduce this good band to you as, say, Janet Street Porter would, and she'd say, in all the years that I've been doing commentating on punk rock, this is by far the best band, and there's two things that I do in the morning. The first is I put my teeth in, and then I listen to X-Ray Spex. Thank you.
A lunchtime gig at the Hope and Anchor in Islington, but one with a difference. All the performers reckon that the new wave is something that can be taken too seriously, that it's possible and even important to laugh at and with punk.
I'll shut your mouth.
Polystyrene chose her name from the Yellow Pages. Otherwise Marion Elliott, aged 19 from Brixton, she's thought of by the music press as one of the most interesting songwriters to surface from the new wave. Polly worked for Woolies in their typing pool, where she started writing poems that later became songs. After running a second-hand clothes stall, she started her band, X-Ray Spex. So far, they've released one single. The compere, Johnny Rubbish, real name John Gatward, is 21 and used to be a Quaker Oats salesman. Now he prints T-shirts by day and by night pursues the daunting career of Britain's first punk comedian.
Everybody who was asked by Mark Phillips before he prints his head.
He's toured with the Stranglers, saddled with the thankless task of going on first as the warm-up man.
Maybe we wouldn't have to waste our money on them. Maybe we could pay the firemen and then we wouldn't all be burnt to pieces instead of having a royal baby. You're all very ready, I'm sure, for one intelligent guy, and it's very strange to have an intelligent guy on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, John Cooper Clarke.
John Cooper Clarke is 27, and although he's been called the first punk poet, he's been writing for 10 years and has thousands of poems which he carries around in a plastic bag. He comes from Manchester and has a single out on Rabid Records.
Outside the takeaway Saturday night, a bald kid asked me out for a fight. He was no bigger than a two-penny fat. He was a deft exponent of the martial arts. He gave me 3 warnings, stamped on me toes, stuck his fingers in me eyes, and he kicked me in the nose. A rabbit punch made me eyes explode. My head went dead. I fell in the road. I pleaded for mercy and I wriggled on the ground. He kicked me in the and said something profound. Gave my face a millimetre tread, stole me chop suey and left me for dead. Through pools of blood and splintered bone, crawled a 100 miles to the public telephone, pulled the corpse out the call box, held back the bile, and with a broken index finger I proceeded to dial. Couldn't get an ambulance, the phone got screwed. Receiver fell in half, it had been kung fu'd. A black belt karate cop opened up the door, demanding information about the stiff on the floor. He looked like an extra from Yang Shang Po, like you. Said, what's all this then? So he was a Oriental gentleman, Jen non Zen. He finished his devotion, I was beaten up again. Thanks to that embryonic Bruce Lee, I'm a shadow of the person that I used to be. All my teeth are broken and the cops have got me marked. Enter the dragon, exit Johnny Clarke.
What sort of jobs were you doing before you started writing poetry?
Oh, I've had thousands of jobs. Window cleaner. Fire watcher.
What are you doing at the moment?
I'm on the Nat King Cove at the moment.
That was a violent one, this one's about nothing. Nothing is but nothing, something it is not. Nil plus nil makes nothing, and nothing's what I got. I got that certain nothing, no one can do without. The Spanish call it nada, I call it now. Nothing on the telly, nothing going on. Nothing to get worked up about, nothing by the ton, nothing times a million, nothing minus 10. Don't say nothing to no one, it's nothing to do with them. There's nothing you wouldn't do for me, nothing I wouldn't do for you. And nothing suits me better than having nothing to do. I come all the way from nowhere to get to nowhere else. Where nothing is out of place, no one lives and nothing smells. Talking to no one is like talking to the wall. I give you what I get, and I get bugger all.
And when did you get involved in the punk scene? Did you just go on with bands, or did you get your own band together, or what?
No, the first new wave gig I was with the Buzzcocks back in 1976. Yeah, in 1976. At the Band on the Wall in Manchester.
And what was the reaction to your stuff?
Great. It's always been great in Manchester.
And how does Johnny Rubbish describe his act?
Well, you see, I've always said that a lot of people have brandished punks as being unintelligent and stupid. I mean, you have a very intelligent guy sitting here, right? Far more intelligent than me. He can reel out poems and things like that. I can't do that. But basically, I think I have a sense of humour, although some crowds don't agree with that.
Isn't he frightened by punk audiences?
No, I wasn't scared really at all. I'm not making myself out to be a hero because there aren't any more. But no, I wasn't really. I never really got scared. I mean, it came to the stage once at Dunstable where the tour manager came in, Mr. Decodell came in and said to the band, well, look, if you put him on tonight, you're risking your equipment. You know, your equipment could be ruined. And they just said, no, let him go, you know, and I was ready to go. If a band's got that much faith in you, then you fulfill it, you know, and you don't get scared. I had a crash helmet anyway, you know, I mean, nothing was going to happen to me.
Johnny, do you dress to make people laugh or to make them think? I mean, when you put something on, do you think the idea is to make people laugh with you, or?
I don't take the way I dress seriously. I just like to dress in bright colours and things, you know, jolly. Well, that's all, just to have a bit of fun, really. I don't want to look sort of serious. I mean, I like to pose as well, to look really serious and heavy, and in that way it's a laugh if you're just posing, but if you take it really serious, it's just boring and drab.
But does Polly take the words she writes for her songs seriously?
I don't know, really. I mean, it's sort of funny as well, but it's just about, it's just saying everything, really, just, you know, bondage, just all kind of restrictions. It's just like breaking away from it all. So it's just like, I want to be free.
The next band is X-Ray Spex, who's a very popular one of mine. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would put your hands together, because they're coming on now, X-Ray Spex.
Some people think little girls should be seen and not heard. But I think I'm bondage of you! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Glory, godfather of punk. Seen here in a clip from the London Weekend Show archives dated January 1976.
Frankie had an old cabin garden gnomes. Frankie Vaughan and Kenneth Vaughan and Sherlock Holmes. Monty Biggles and Old King Cole in the pink or on the gold. Oliver Twist and Long John Silver, Captain Cook and LED. Enid Wright and Spider Row, Malcolm Sergeant Graham Greene.
Ian is 35 and went to the Royal College of Art. This band, Kilburn and the High Roads, shocked and amused people long before punk with songs like this one, England's Glory, subsequently recorded by comedian Max Wall.
And everyone could tell a different story, and show old England's glory something new. Nice bit of Kipper and Jack the Ripper and Upton Park, Maxine Miller, Gracie Schiller, Petulia Clark, Winkles, Woodbarns, Walnut Whips, Vera Lynn and Stafford Cripps, Lady Chatterley, Muffin the Mule, Winston Churchill, Robin Hood.
Ian, who had polio as a child, was wearing safety pins in his ears while the Sex Pistols still used them in nappies. After a year devoted to writing, he's back on the road with a new band, the Blockheads. Last week I talked to him in the sitting room upstairs at the Hope and Anchor.
So you're offending people and making really good music before
Yeah, I
the
wasn't
new wave
setting out
started.
to offend anybody, be honest with me.
No.
I wasn't out there to get up their noses or anything. I was out there to try and get a few bob out of it, do you know what I mean? And the only way to do that is to please people, really, not offend them. Otherwise you looking at it from trying to make a living point of view. Didn't really set out to offend them, maybe to excite them in new ways, but I don't know. I mean, the Kilburns were most exciting in the Tally-Ho when things were falling apart and we all had to wear overcoats because it was so cold. And yeah, we were really lousy then, and we didn't give a you know, and we were just like that. Most exciting performances. But then we all got worried about it, you know. Oh, we are out of tune, aren't we? Oh dear me, like that. And so we all started working on it and got extremely boring for a bit.
When there was the article in the Evening Standard that Molly Parkin wrote about you that had the headline "Cripple Rot," what did your mum think about that?
She don't mind. No, she don't mind. They used to come up to her when she was a health visitor in Upminster to say, "Mrs. Dewey, is your son a tramp?" Like that. And she'd go, like that. And she had to see all the mums in it with their kids, right? And me walking about in Upminster upsetting everybody. So she's got used to that. She thinks I'm a bit of a rascal, but she smiles upon it, really. Thinks I'm far too old for this kind of thing, I think.
I mean, the bands you've been with have changed
I
personnel.
know the Kilburns had 36 drummers in 3.5 years. All of them were.
What do you,
Nothing.
I mean, what do you want to do next?
I want to carry on with this for a while. Get better. Get a piano. Do a bit of practicing.
What's the difference between the band you've got now and the Kilburns? I mean, apart from being a whole different lot of blokes, but is there any different feeling about it when you're with them? Or?
Yeah, it's more relaxed now. I mean, it's more based on what they've been basing themselves on as well. They're good musicians. Extremely good musicians, the Blockheads.
I mean, it's got the same element of madness, but is it...
Well, I think everybody's got that, haven't they? Everybody's a bit balmy, and it's nice to allow it to happen, isn't it? Nobody goes around saying, be balmy this week or anything. But if somebody's being a bit balmy, it's all right, isn't it?
You know, when we talked earlier, you said that the words to your songs were the most important thing.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't mean to...
Well, I mean, the words are very important to you.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of... What I write, you know, I think should be good or should mean something anyway, should be relevant to what's happening now. But I mean, I don't think that they're everything, you know what I mean, that, you know, you've got to get into the words and like that. It's up to people. If they want to listen to them, they're there, and if they don't, they can just listen to the music.
What about a group like X-Ray Spex? It seems more like a musical thing, like everybody having a good time.
Yeah, but her words are important as well, aren't they? If only for the titles, even if you don't hear all the words, the titles are all very... twice removed.
my big time at the Hope and Anchor, and the roadies have done the dustbin up too tight and I can't get out. I mean, what do you normally find in a dustbin? What deserves to be in a dustbin? Here, there's a copy of New Musical Express in here. Tony Parsons writing a new article about Vic's vomit and the lumps. He reckons they're a fast and vibrant band. Well, Tony Parsons, he knows much more than us immortals, doesn't he? He's the governor, isn't he, Tony Parsons? Hold on, I got some hippie coke in my pocket. I'll snort that and see if I can get it out. I need a second, I'll be able to get out. Oh dear, that's better. There we are, we're all ready. Good evening, or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a party political broadcast on behalf of the Conservative Party. James Callaghan is a... Oh, all fallen over. Who out there likes West Ham? Thought we might get that. And who out there... That's... Spit coming from everywhere. Oh, we're all having a good time. If it was bonfire night again, who would you like to see on top of the bonfire? Huey Green, Don Revie, or the Queen? Which one of those would you like to see on top? Ladies and gentlemen, good night, and may your spit go with you.
John, how do you think you went down?
About normal. That's about my normal performance. I think the actual gob weight on the stage was about 14 fluid ounces, and that's about average. No beer cans, but they didn't have cans. Yes, it was about average, I would say. I certainly enjoyed it, you know. I think you've always had this man that they love to hate, and it would be a privilege to be thought of someone like that, you know. I think the last thing you could say is that the audience liked me, but then again, I've never said that I was out for the audience to like me anyway. I've never said that.
You say you don't mind being the person they love to hate, but...
well, I haven't got much option. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be glad to know that I'm leaving. And the next thing on is John Cooper Clarke, one of his other poems. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for John Cooper Clarke, please.
About muscle men and wanking and I've got to wriggle about. This is why you've been shifted. Well, all right, I've got to wriggle about. She didn't like the rib cage, the coat hanger hips, the razor sharp shoulder blades, always gave a jip. She's reading Edward de Bono under the palms. He sprays Odorono under his arms. I was, to say the least, alarmed when the bronze Adonis got her. When the bronze Adonis got her. I lay beneath the parasol and I watched him with the chicks. Horsing around with his aerosol, they whispered about his... Send no cash, fear no man. You can be a love Leviathan. She's a fan of the man with a tan from a can. The bronze Adonis got her. The bronze Adonis got her. They honeymooned on Muscle Beach where the cries are beat it, Mac. He'd pluck some puny punter's peach with an how do you like that? The bronze Adonis got her. The bronze Adonis got her. Mr. and Mrs. Universe, the folks who live in the gym. Each night she sleeps in a room marks her, he sleeps in a room marks him. Muscle bound for stardom, the Apollo of your eye. Can't seem to get an hard on, oh dear, I wonder why. The bronze Adonis got her. The bronze Adonis got her. There stands the body gorgeous, men worship, girls admire. He bravely bears the scourges and the pain of squash desire. What a physical jerk, no time for sex. Where's me bleeding bulwark, a baby oil and leopard kecks? Oh yeah, the bronze Adonis got her. The bronze Adonis got her. A male order male, let me show you how. Fragile Frankie Frail became agile Al Capow. The He-Man hero, blonde and tall, the envy of his pals. He's coming to burst your beach ball and wrestle with your gals. Is this the vicious Vaseline dream or a triumph of the will? The bronze Adonis took her to downtown Palookaville. A hubba, yum yum, wow, what a hunk of beef. Who made you the sacred cow who hangs around his briefs in the corner sauna with his mates, wanking away unwanted weight? That's his idea of a heavy date. The bronze Adonis got her. The bronze Adonis got her. And it's clear that physical fitness of the kind he typifies guarantees success in business plus the adoration of a million eyes. Why be a chair kicking 7 stone, skinny bag of nervous bones, horse around with your hormones? Be a bronze Adonis, suckers.
John, how did you go down with the kids here today?
Well, it's a very accessible stage, that.
What, they got too close to you?
It was intimate. I like to wriggle about a bit.
How did it feel? Do you think they were a bit hostile when you came on?
No.
What sort of places do you perform usually?
Places not unlike this.
Yeah, what, pubs?
But with a less accessible stage, usually.
What sort of things do you write about? I mean, I know that's an enormous generalisation.
Yeah,
but
it's impossible to say, because I don't have any memory, so I can't remember what inspired me to write certain poems, but they're all written from inspiration. None of them are thought about too much. They're all written the way I speak.
do you think people have got to learn to laugh at the new wave? I mean, there's a humorous side to it that perhaps they don't realise.
Well, you're knackered without a sense of humour, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to laugh at things, I think, really. Well, you should be, but it should be possible that you could do if you wanted to.
Yeah, well, there's levels of seriousness, isn't there, really? I mean, I take it serious on one hand, but on the other hand, I don't. It's just sort of take it or leave it attitude, you know. One day it's everything, the next day throw it out the window.
Ian Dury believes that the way forward lies in taking punk out of exclusively teenage venues into a new, much wider sphere.
Without going over the top about it, there isn't anybody who couldn't come, I don't think, to any of it, really. And there's something there for all of us. When you say musical, that was a family outing, wasn't it? Yeah. And you could have, like, the retarded little brother can go and bang his head against the wall if he wanted to and laugh and things. I feel good. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see come and have a picnic at a gig. That would be good. I mean, everybody there, you know, Granny having them, oh, bloody hell, too loud, like that, you know. I'd like to see that, and dogs and things there running about. But they could go a bit bananas if that happened. But I think that, yeah, I wouldn't like to say that nobody can come.
I couldn't imagine anyone more different to someone like Elkie Brooks and the last kind of generation of lady singers. If I tried, I mean, if I had to think of the exact opposite of Kiki Dee and Elkie Brooks, I probably would have thought of you. What's the difference?
Well, they play to men. I mean, that's their thing, isn't it? They're playing on sex and on, you know, showing their tits and things like that. It's up to them if they want to do that, but I don't think I could get off on that.
Well, have your braces ever held you back?
Not really. I haven't really thought about them all that much. I just put them on because I wanted to get my teeth straightened, so, you know, I know.
You don't think if you took them off you might lose your audience?
I don't know, better ask them. I'll take them off and try it. I like adventure. No, I don't know. They can't come off anyway, they're cemented in.